So I just thought I'd go through how we could use our patterns for secondary graphics or how we could create them. So I'm going to zoom in here. Say I was doing Memphis, something like that, and I had a colorful design that I was making. And to do it, I just used the circle tool, the ellipse tool, and I might use the pencil tool, and I could create some sort of like little motifs, or I could, if it's zigzag, create the zigzag, yeah. Okay, so say if I got my pattern, which I think is amazing. All I have to do is click and drag over my pattern and then go up to object and then down to pattern and make. Object, pattern, make. Take a screenshot for the, oops. Okay, so if I go object, pattern, make, then it'll open up this pattern screen, which is pretty cool, right? And this red line, or it might be blue depending on the layer you're on, indicates the size of your pattern tile. And it works out the repeat for you. But whilst you're in here, see now it's blue because I pressed OK. Whilst you're in here, if I move anything around, you can see it live change. So if you're like, oh, that circle doesn't, this squiggly thing doesn't work there, you can start moving your design around and you can change any colors in here as well. And you can see the whole sort of design changes. There's lots of different options you can show by grid, brick, or row, and it will also change your pattern. But it's very simplest. Whatever you put in this space will be your repeat pattern, and you can give it a name like Memphis Pattern Anna. And I come up here and I press done. And then it will add it to your swatches panel. So that next week when we're creating our business card or our price list, if I had my business card and I wanted one side to be patterned, I can apply the pattern by filling it. Okay. Now, the other thing to remember with patterns is that you might want to scale it. Like this might not be to scale. So if I wanted to scale it, if I use the scale tool by double clicking, I need to remember that I don't want to change the size of my mock business card at the moment. So I unclick transform objects, but I do want to transform the pattern within it. So if I wanted to see what it looked like smaller, I could put it down to 60% and just put the preview on and off. And now you can see that it will scale the pattern for you once you create it. Okay, so we can play with what works. All right, but wait, there's more. That's your own pattern if you wanted to create it. But there's also in the swatches panel, there's inbuilt patterns. So if you go to the hamburger in the swatches panel and you go to open swatch library, there's patterns already built in. And the basic graphics, the dots and the lines and the textures may work for your collateral pieces. So I'll do that again. So you've got your swatches panel, you go to the hamburger and you go open swatch library and there's patterns already built in, the basic graphics, dots, lines and textures. If I was to do dots, I'm doing Andy Warhol pop art or that sort of thing. Look at the dots that I get my own panel. And if I was to create another faux business card over to the side here, I could fill it with any of the patterns that they've created for me. Yeah. And using that scale tool, I could scale it down if I needed to, unclick transform objects, and I could see what it looks like smaller. Yeah. And if I wanted to actually change the color of this, again, go back to object pattern. I can see it up here and I can edit the pattern. Okay, so if you needed red dots, all you have to do in here is start changing the color in here and you can customize it. Yeah. You save it with a new name if you don't want to write over the swatch sort of thing. So I could give it a new name, or if I press done, I think it'll just copy it and it'll put it in my swatch panel, ready to use. So that's an easy way of creating your secondary patterns. Now, if you've come out of tonight and you've got your primary logo, but you haven't done these ones yet, and maybe you have a whole range of like different colors, right? And they're going to be different shades of green, okay? So if I needed to do a grayscale one or a black and white one, I'm going to copy this, put it over here, and I'm going to open my properties panel. Here's the properties. And in here, I should have a recolor button, which I can't see. Recolor. Let me just do it with one. I'll ungroup it, see whether that helps. When in doubt, ask help. Normally in your properties, it lives down there. It's a little recolor button. Recolor. Generated text. Oh, it should be in the properties. It came up in the properties last time I did it. So edit colors. That's the long cut. So if you can't find it, that help screen gets me out of trouble when the different software upgrades move things. So there's a quick action should be in here. But anyway, so we'll go to edit colors. Edit. Can we see edit colors? There we go. Recolor artwork. And here we go. Okay, this is what I was after. So we go into the advanced options and we should just be able to hit on grays. Boom. That was really simple. Yeah. So we didn't have to like pick all the different grays. And if we did want to get different colors, you can come in here and you can change like the colors, or you can tell it to give you a bright color group. So you can have lots of fun in here, but that's going to be the easiest way to convert your color logo into grayscale. So I don't know why that was missing here. So normally you have a button recolor artwork, but we found the long cut, which was in edit, wasn't it? And edit colors, and it was recolor artwork. You need something selected when you're doing it. Recolor artwork. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the different tools they keep releasing, and that one's definitely a handy one for us. At this point, is it clear what you need to try to finish by next week so we can do the business card and the price list? The concept statement, if I was describing this, it only has to be a few lines. So if I was to write something, I might go T for text. I just want to do 81 point, something a bit smaller. How would we describe this, do you think? So this hairdressing logo was or is influenced by the Memphis design movement. Its primary colors of, you know, pink, blue and green, you know, add a feeling of vibrancy or playfulness. So think of keywords that belong to your design movement. So it's just a couple of sentences to convince the person, in this case your client, why this brand is on point and is going to be a good statement for their business. So hairdressing is influenced by Memphis design movement. Its primary colors You could describe the look and feel of it. Yeah. You could say what font, customize font. So the basis of this font was Impact, our lovely Impact. We customized it by maybe rounding the corners, that kind of thing. Because I haven't really finished my design, but if you had, you wouldn't just leave it as Impact font, right? Like you might have curved all of the corners to make it look more playful. Yeah. So describe how you customize it. This logo was designed using the font Impact and customized by curving the corners and maybe adding an outline. So something as short and sweet as that, but just describes why you did what you did and why it's effective. So when you're thinking about your mind map, think about what your word's trying to represent. I'll just go back to the online crew. Any questions from online crew? No questions from Rain. All right, I might stop the recording there and then I can share it.